Okay, welcome back to Dunkirk Dunes. This is going to be Anzacanarance 6. G.I. Joe is out of town and just asked if Kurt or I would make his moves for him. So here's what we've got for Canada purchase. They're going to buy a transport and an infantry for 10. They had 12 to spend, so they're carrying over 2. Anzac had 17 to spend, and they're going to spend 16 of it on 2 tanks and an artillery. Okay, as far as moves, I don't think there's any combat this turn, just some non-combat moves. So we will just start with Anzac. They're going to pull these 3 infantry and the 2 anti-aircraft guns back into New South Wales, Sydney. They're going to fly these 3 fighters to Philippines, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leaving from an air base. So all 3 of those fighters are going from Queensland to Philippines. And then these ships, so the cruiser and the destroyer are going to go 1, 2 into Sea Zone 45, and one of the transports is going to go 1, 2, 3 up into Sea Zone 35 and drop 2 additional infantry here in the Philippines. And then the other 2 transports are going to head on up to the Marianas Islands. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3 up to Sea Zone 22 surrounding Marianas, and what they're bringing with them is 2 infantry and 2 artillery. Whoops. Okay, it's getting a little crowded there. Okay, so I think that essentially takes care of those Anzac moves. Let's see, Canada. This destroyer in 85 is just going to slide on over to 84. And then the transport that's here up in 121 is going to come on down, 1, 2, join this fleet here in 106. So that's basically that, and then might as well go ahead and do the French. To the fighter here in London is flying to Norway. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I think that is basically it. We're just going to go ahead and put these new units on the board. So transport in 106 and the infantry in Quebec. And then these ones, these 2 tanks, are going in Sydney along with this artillery. Okay, and so it's just income wise, Canada is still on 7. They get the 3 bonus for having the Canadian there in a French territory, so they're going to collect 10, and they had 2 left over, so they have 12 now for next turn. And then Anzac is on 11, and they get the 5-point bonus for having Dutch New Guinea. So that's going to be 16 more, plus the 1 they carried over is 17 again. Okay, do a quick recap here. So Canada has 2 infantry and 2 artillery in Quebec, 2 transports in Sea Zone 106. They have a destroyer in 84. Might as well cover the French at the same time. So London, there are 2 Canadian infantry, 1 Canadian tank, 2 French infantry. In Norway, there is a French fighter. French Equatorial Africa, there's 1 Canadian infantry. In Cairo, there's 1 Canadian infantry and 2 French infantry. Going over here to the Anzac side. So in Philippines, there are 2 Anzac infantry. There's 1 Anzac transport in 35. There's 3 Anzac fighters on Philippines. C-Zone 45, there is a Anzac destroyer and cruiser along with a U.S. cruiser. In Marianas, there are 2 artillery, 2 infantry, and in C-Zone 22, there's 2 transports. And in Sydney, there are 3 infantry, 2 anti-aircraft guns, 2 artillery, and 2 tanks. And I think that's it. Thanks.